This is the fourth video in our series of the complete exterior renovation series. In our last video, you saw the work done to install the beautiful stunning stone on the first and second story on the front of the home. In this fourth video, you will see different applications installed on the exterior walls to put up the stucco on the sides and back of the home that not only looks fantastic, but also beautifies the stone on the front for a breathtaking effect. A&A Masonry, an award-winning company servicing the Greater Toronto Area and the Golden Horseshoe.
All right, we're here on day 7 of this restoration, and we want to bring it back to the side because, again, as the job progresses, as the homeowners begin to see the transformation, there's slight variations and changes that they want to go ahead with. Some of it is logistics with the construction, the materials that we're using. Some of it is just style and taste preferences. We talked originally about doing the stone skirt veneer all along the sides and actually wrapping around to the back of the building, the home here. Instead, the homeowners decided to go with a stucco finish from top to bottom as we just complete the return on the front of the house with the stone veneer. It's a nice contrast. We're at the stage now where the stucco crew is actually sanding down the styrofoam, which is going to give an additional vapor barrier. It's going to give an additional insulation, soundproofing, all those good qualities to the homeowner for enjoyment on the inside. They're going to put a mesh after this. They're going to do a scratch coat. Scratch coat is a simple mortar-like parging technique that we do to give it a texture for the adhesiveness qualities when we apply a stone veneer, or in this case on the stucco side, they're going to just layer it up to give it some strength and some structure of mortar when they start applying the second, third, and fourth layers and give it the color there. So it's really coming along. But again, it's the nice thing about dealing with a company like A&A Masonry is that we have the experience, we have the knowledge, we have the production managers that can adapt and adjust as the homeowner's needs and as the job dictates that we have to do to ensure that we get a beautiful quality restoration. We also took all the metalwork. When we get to stucco, when we're building out a layer, everything around the house, electrical light out boxes, conduits, the power box, all those things have to be accounted for and adjusted for. And as we go up and we hit the soffit, the underside of the roof overhang, again, we have to deal with that. If we're not going to take it off, we have to make sure moisture is not going to get in behind there. We deal with all those things. In this case, the homeowner decided to go all the way to the top. We're taking all the metalwork off. We're going to redo metalwork. We're going to have a nice color that's going to complement the changes that they're doing here. It's going to look really, really sharp when it's done. So much so that we've had at least 2 or 3 neighbors that are looking and considering and will eventually get the same type of job. So the neighborhood will progressively get updated, which is a wonderful thing for people that own the real estate. It's a return on the investment, which is really what we're all about, is to do quality work that's really going to get you a good return on the investment that you put in. And when you consider the amount of money that's put into this based on the value of the house and what we're able to do with that, it's amazing what we're able to do for what you would consider a budget for a kitchen or a bathroom or something like that, what you can do with the exterior. It's really, really awesome. It's exciting to see. So let's continue watching and see how they progress.
You can see here that the crew have installed the styrofoam on the walls and side and back of the home. Installing stucco cladding over rigid foam insulation requires additional preparation to ensure proper water management, as well as a sound substrate for the stucco. Made from expanded polystyrene and used as a substrate for stucco in conventional and manufactured housing, this sheathing provides lasting continuous insulation, superior long-term performance, and prevents moisture buildup. The styrofoam is sanded first to prepare it for the next layers to be added. Again, as the styrofoam is leveled and sanded, you can see the flakes landing on the ground almost like snow. At A&A, the crews are very conscious of the homeowner's property, and this is cleaned up once finished and the property left immaculate.
Okay, on the deck here, this part was, we had to figure this out and come up with a certain design that fit this restoration, we agreed on doing the stonework on the entire front, but also taking these pillars here. We're going to wrap them in styrofoam and make it into a stucco look. It's going to have like a wainscot molding on it. We're also doing that with the bay window to make it really stand out and to be a nice complement to the stonework. It'll also have like a wainscot border around it, so it'll really stand out. Before doing that, you can see, again, water management. We took care and sealed all the materials that are susceptible to water damage and mold with a liquid blueskin application. Then we're going to put the styrofoam on top. We pulled all the metal off. It gave us the opportunity to do new wiring, new electrical. There's going to be some nice pot lights that's going on the upper soffit as well. Really going to look sharp. And again, that lighting is really going to bring out the contrast of the stone material at night. It's going to look beautiful. Also, behind me, the door, we left about, again, 6 to 8 inches to match the garage. So we can do a styrofoam molding around there. So it's really going to encase the door as a nice border. And again, this together with the garage door, meaning the front door, and also the bay window, is really going to pop, and it's going to match with these pillars as well and the stonework behind it. The other thing we're able to do is, obviously, these pillars are load bearing a little bit, so we're able to transition and move them out a little bit away from the stonework so that we can get a nice balanced look. And this is going to be the completion. It's the nice thing when we're talking about these restorations. It's always the details that really bring the whole project together. The other nice thing is that as you're looking at this homeowner could have done less, we could have done more. It just all depends on what you're really looking for, and we can encompass it all. So there's really, really nice materials. I hope you enjoy and see the transition like I am, but in the end, you're going to see the complete renovation, and you can do fractions of it, complement what you have, or you could do the whole complete restoration. Now, with any of these jobs, it's very important with the details as you're getting closer to the completion. A lot of that has to do with the materials that we're adding to the existing house and how it's meeting entryways, doorways, the electrical boxes, the light sockets, things of that nature. You can see here beside me, we've left the brick exposed. We can't add styrofoam. It's going to enclose the opening. It's not going to be a proper finish. We're going to leave it exposed. We're going to cover it with the fiberglass mesh that they put over the rest of the styrofoam. Together with the scratch coat, the final coat with the color is going to make it look exactly the same, and the width of the opening is not going to change. The other detail that we're doing is we're putting a slight trim of fiberglass mesh on the bottom. If you've ever seen stucco done where it looks like it's dripping, unfinished, pieces of material at the very bottom, we're going to eliminate that with this trim. It's going to be a nice clean finish, so when they do that scratch coat with the fiberglass mesh, it's going to drop down. It's going to look beautiful. That's what we're after, the aesthetic look, but also something that's going to last. This fiberglass mesh is what really gives the styrofoam its strength and its integrity. It's flexible, so it won't crack. And after building it up 1 or 2 layers, then it's going to be strong. It's going to withstand the weather elements. It's going to stand over time, and it's going to maintain its color.
Next, you can see the crew working to install the next coats on the styrofoam. At this point, they are putting on the lathe and scratch coats. These coats will allow the final stucco to be able to be successfully applied. Here you can see the crew are working hard to get the scratch coat on the wall. Before the final stucco is put on, they use their trowels in such a way to leave a very smooth surface in which to put the final coat on.
Okay, we're back between the houses here on the right side of this house. The scaffolding has been removed. The stucco at this point is essentially done. It's now getting into the detail phases of doing the metal work on the roof line. I wanted to bring you back here because now you can see that Benny and his crew have done all the mortar work. You can see it looks like a full bed stone, or building stone as we call it, with the mortar joints. It looks beautiful. The stucco really is starting to match and accentuate the colors of the stonework, so it's blending together. Also, the stucco work, as I mentioned earlier, that fine piece of stripping tape that they put at the bottom, that mesh, gives us a nice clean finish, which is important in this case because now with the homeowner next door and this homeowner, they're going to be collaborating together to redo this whole area between the homes. And again, the finishing qualities are what's important, because now that we have a nice finish on the bottom part of that stucco, as we grade this property downward, We're going to finish it with our SureGuard seal to the exposed foundation to prevent any deterioration and water erosion in the future. This home is going to be sealed tight. So we're going to watch it take place, and the next time we're going to be back here, we're going to see more and more detail, and we'll be starting on the interlock.
One of the big advantages of working with A&A is that they have a large number of specialized crews that are extremely experienced in their areas of expertise. This cancels out any headaches for the homeowner, who very often has to work with 2 or 3 different contractors to get their project done. With A&A, you know you can outline the project and they'll get the whole thing done. Also with A&A, you can feel secure that they will not cut any corners for cost-saving measures or any other possible considerations. That's why you put your trust in A&A and let their professionals get to work for you to make your next project the best that it can be for all the decades in the future. To schedule your next project, contact A&A Masonry today.